Before I start this video, I just want to let you know that no, I am enjoying Doctor Who Series 12. I am just having a rant in relation to the mess that the series is. It's definitely a lot better than Series 11. For the most part though, it is enjoyable television for me. But let's break down what the fuck is going on in Doctor Who Series 12. So the first episode was a two-part episode known as Spyfall Part 1 and Part 2. Now this episode was really good. It had Lenny Henry as a villainous character who I expect to return. It had a nice little scene and an appearance from Stephen Fry, who I've wanted in Doctor Who for years now. And we had Sacha Darwin as a character known as O, working with the military, I believe. I honestly forget like who he was before he became, and it was revealed, and I like this reveal, that Sacha Darwin's O was actually the Master. Now the Master brought back the tissue compressor device, and it really seemed like it could be an old Master, but in Spyfall Part 2 there were a lot of teasers towards this Master actually being after Missy and not before. I really liked Series 10 and the way that they handled Missy, but I really don't mind if the Master goes back to being evil, and I think that's what's happening here. Overall, it was very good to see the Master back, but they have done a lot more than this series. At the end of episode 1, the Master tells the Doctor that everything you think you know is a lie. Towards the end of episode 2, he tells the Doctor that Gallifrey has been destroyed. He went back home, and the lie of the Timeless Child. The Timeless Child was first mentioned in Series 11, Episode 2, The Ghost Monument. It relates to the Time Lords, and I think it really relates to the experimentation, potentially, on humans with Time Lord power. What I think is happening is I think that Time Lords themselves did not have the power of regeneration. They basically stole it, the Fathers of Gallifrey, Foundation, things like that. But I really am interested in this mystery. I just hope they don't retcon Doctor Who. Episode 3 is getting way too much hate in my opinion. Orphan 55, it wasn't a terrible episode. It definitely was a bad episode, but there were things to enjoy, and the monsters, the dregs, were really cool. But as I mentioned in the Orphan 55 review, Doctor Who doesn't need to be so political. Now, I like that Doctor Who sometimes produces episodes based on current issue or world events, but the political stuff and the preachiness is what ruins it. But this episode has been bashed as one of the worst episodes ever, but I think there is a lot of positives to take away, especially "Not my Benny!" There's not much to speak about in relation to episode 4, so I'll get straight into episode 5, titled Fugitive of the Judoon. Now this episode was potentially the best of the entire series. However, it was absolutely bonkers. We were introduced to a character known as Ruth, seemed like a normal character, led to believe that Ruth was a Time Lord towards the end, wondering whether this could be the Rani, the Omega, who this is. But no, Ruth is the Doctor. Now, whether this is a future or past is unknown, but Jodie was talking about this being her past. This better fucking not be a pre-Hartnell bullshit Doctor. Chris Chibnall better leave the show's canon alone. I think John Hurt's Doctor really did work. Stephen Moffat worked it in really well, but this is just not going to make complete sense at all. Is Ruth the Timeless Child? I have to admit, for the most part, I did enjoy Fugitive of the Judoon, and leading up to this reveal was a great episode. Now guys, after 10 long years, if you want to say 12 and disinclude that minor cameo from the end of time, John Barrowman returns as Captain Jack Harkness in Fugitive of the Judoon. It really did feel forced. I did enjoy it.
He warns the team of the lone Cyberman coming, but I hope this is a joke. Chris Chibnall confirms that Jack will not be back for Series 12. So we've got Jack back for a 2-minute cameo, warning of the threat of the series or even Chibnall's error. And I think it could be misleading. Who knows with Chibs? He's not coming back, we're being told, which really pisses me off. It took a long time and they really set up a return for him, and he needs to meet Jodie Whittaker's doctor, in my opinion. Now guys, I really hope this is false. This probably is false, because Chris Chibnall should not be doing this and should not be running this show if he's going to do this. This show is not Game of Thrones. This show is not Rick and Morty. It is a show that comes out yearly. It has experienced a 1-year break once, and it didn't really work, but he introduced specials. That was that was Russell T Davies, sorry, with Planet of the Dead, The Next Doctor, End of the Waters of Mars. But apparently there will be no Doctor Who Series 13 in 2021. Don't worry, Series 13 and Series 14 have been confirmed. The show is not going anywhere. It will be interesting to see whether Jodie Whittaker departs at the end of the 3rd series. Look, I haven't minded her Doctor at all, but it seems like the Doctor gets 3 series, and I feel like it's fair again. But I really hope this is not true about Doctor Who having its Series 12 finale and no 2021 series. The last thing I want to speak about is how fucking useless Yaz has been. Yaz has been an absolutely useless character in this series, has not contributed at all, in my opinion. It would have been cool to see her explore as a policewoman. However, it got me thinking today that maybe she isn't likable, and that's because she's actually not the companion that we think she all is. I'm not going to say she's a crazy Time Lord, nothing like that. But I do think she's being potentially controlled by the Master. She could be working with the Master all along. I think one indication of this, that when I was re-watching the episodes of the series, is that she's the only companion to be taken to the world that the Kasavan do live in. Now, I do think the Kasavan should be back in the finale. It would be very disappointing if the Kasavan end up being the Cybermen. Holy shit, it would be predictable and crap. But I do expect the Master, Jack hopefully, the Kasavan, Lenny Henry. I expect this massive 2-part finale to happen. But I don't know. I think Yaz could take a really dark turn, and she's showing this dark side to her, showing this bravery that wasn't shown in this series until now and the last series. What do you guys think of this? Do you guys think I'm right? Is Yaz secretly working with the Master or being controlled by the Master? I think it's an insane theory, and it will be a pretty cool twist to Doctor Who. Will she remain on the team after this? We will have to wait and see. Last but not least, guys, this is a little bit of a spoiler, so if you don't want to know a little spoiler, turn this video off now. Episode 7 next week, after the disappointing Praxeus, is known as Can You Hear Me? Again, written by Chris Chibnall. As a side, Chris Chibnall's writing a lot this series. He didn't write for Nikola Tesla's Night of Horror or Orphan 55, but he's back again. And episode 8, featuring Mary Shelley and Lord Byron, a Frankenstein episode involving the Cybermen perhaps, is called The Haunting of Villa Diodata. Okay, interesting title. Episode 9 and 10 is a 2-part finale written by Chibs himself, and the Cybermen will return in episode 10. So they'll be in episode 8 and episode 10. What the hell will episode 9 be about? I am getting excited for the end of the series. I have enjoyed this a lot more than Series 11. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.